Friday appeal for 2015. We're going to take you through the afternoon here and try and raise some more money for the hospital. And right now it's my pleasure to introduce from 3AW Mornings, Neil Mitchell. We have a double shot of Mitch here at the desk this afternoon. Neil, what do you make of all this?
Mitch and Mitch, we could be a song and dance team. Isn't it magnificent? It is really magnificent. And just looking at the opening shots there of the kids at the hospital, they're so happy. They're so happy, and the staff are so warm and engaging. This is one of the best things that happens in Victoria all year. This is what Victoria's about: generosity and warmth and happiness and achieving something for kids. And it's beautiful.
We're renowned for this, like Grand Final Day and Anzac Day. It's on the calendar and will be forever. It's a wonderful event. And
I said this morning, it's a bit like putting an old slipper on. It feels so comfortable and right. You know, this is just what we do and what we do so well.
And for such a good cause too. I mean, we deal with a lot of bad news during the week, but to have something like this on this day where we can, and the whole state, you really see Victoria's heart, don't you?
You see the kids wandering around here and the families. It's a family event. It's a great noisy family event, and so positive for the state. I just hope it goes from strength to strength, and I think it will. Let's beat that 17 million figure today.
Good on you, Neil. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And Neil, one of the things that staggers me so much is the amount of volunteers, and everybody contributes and gives so much of their time, not just today, but right through the year, donating what they can.
Time, effort and originality. I love some of the ideas that come from people. My favourite was Cow Lotto, where they got a paddock, marked it out in squares, wrote numbers on it and let one cow in. And when the cow did what cows do, that was the winner, and they raised a fortune. Tulibuck today, the little town of Tulibuck up on the border, about $10,000 from a tiny little town just rattling tins. The Uncle Bob's Club, and we campaigned for the Uncle Bob's Club this week, pushing a wheelbarrow from Sorrento to Safety Beach. They've been doing it 42 years. That was in jeopardy. Fortunately, it went ahead with the local community. But they raised with this wheelbarrow $60,000.
Amazing.
It's magnificent.
Fantastic. Uncle Bob, time to say farewell to my double Mitch today. Neil, thanks very much for coming along. And we know that you had your tin rattling exercise on Monday, which was greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it was good fun. And I kept my beard too. That's even better after what we've seen. But look, 3AW really is honoured to be part of it with Ch7 and with News Limited. It is something that makes us all feel good and achieves a lot of good, and we'll keep doing it as long and as hard as we can. Thanks for having me.
Good on you, Neil. Thank you very much. And we're coming back after the break with two more of the celebrities from 3AW in Tom Elliott and Phlip Brady. They'll join us next. The marvellous Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, and we hope you're enjoying our coverage of the 2015 Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday Appeal. We're keeping the 3AW flavour going now. I'm being joined by Tom Elliott, the afternoon host, and Phlip Brady, of course, from Nightline. Welcome, gentlemen.
How are you? Good to see you.
Lovely to have you on board.
Great to be here.
Oh, yes, it's so important this one day of the year, isn't it?
It is, certainly.
And I always bring a prop, you know, to start with, and there's a reason for it, guys. Last year, I think I showed you my piranha fish, which I caught in the Amazon at Iquitos.
You did not
Peru.
catch that in the
Yes,
Amazon.
I promise
You bought it in a shop.
I would not lie
Oh.
on Good Friday. But this year, guys, can you
Caught this one
guess?
too?
Can you guess what this is?
It's a lizard.
No, it's not
Goanna.
a lizard. No, it's not a goanna.
Komodo dragon.
How do you know?
I know those things.
It is. I'm just back from Borneo. I was on the Caledonian Sky on one of those APT expedition cruises, and we went
Lucky
into Rinca in Borneo and saw these amazing creatures which are up to 3 metres long, and it's like being in Jurassic.
They're as big as this table when they grow fully.
It's like being in Jurassic Park, and they grab cattle or goats by the leg and bite them, and of course infect the animal, track their blood for 3 or 4 days, and then eat them. But they are the scariest creature in the world. And why would I bring? Why would
you bring that to the Royal Children's Hospital appeal?
On behalf of the Royal Children's, I want you to be dragging money out of your pocket and give to the appeal today.
That's why we have you on board, Phlip. Pulling out gold like that.
And Phil, what's this? Is this something else you found on one of your cruises?
In case somebody calls in and wants me to do a couple of verses of Goody Goody, I'll be shaking my maracas.
Okay, gentlemen, you've got to be impressed by what's happening down here, and thanks for your involvement as well.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, to see so many people here every year, and seeing young Sarah before is inspirational, because what this appeal does is raise money for equipment, for tests, for things that the hospital couldn't otherwise afford. And when you see what it does for a family like the Andersons, it suddenly brings it home as to why we're donating money, why this is on television, why we'll be doing it on the radio later on. So yeah, it's great, and it's good fun too.
And Philip, you have a personal link to the hospital.
Yeah, I do, Peter. 50 years ago, my father, who was psychiatrist superintendent at the Kew Colleges, also did honorary psychiatric work when the children's was in Pelham Street, Carlton. So it's sort of, for me, a link with the past.
Yes, of course. Fantastic.
Are we going to play golf again one day soon?
Well, one day, Philip,
you'll
drag out those
about our
shafted clubs again.
Did
Did you show Peter up last time, Philip? He doesn't seem too keen on a rematch.
Would you believe I got a hole-in-one at Yarra Bend par 3 course?
I wouldn't believe
with wooden shafts.
Yes, I know. And your clubs had cobwebs all over them, which is a sign of how often you play.
Peter was writing a page for the Herald Sun in those days.
Philip's piranha, I must say, has cobwebs in its mouth.
Can I tell you about the piranha? I'm willing to auction it.
Oh, are you?
Well, if necessary.
We'll take a break and be back with, you can read out the 1 o'clock total for us, Philip.
Thank you.
Very exciting news to be read by Philip Brady now. It's the 1 o'clock total, Phil. Take it away.
It's fantastic, Peter. I think we're aiming at around 17 mil this year if we're blessed. And at 1 o'clock, our total, thanks to you, is $1,705,381.12.
Fantastic.
Isn't that something? So your generosity overwhelms us. By the way, Tom and I are on air here today for 3AW. If you're coming down to the convention centre, we've got a booth very near the Channel 7 broadcast. You're on air at 3 o'clock.
3 till 6.
And I'm on air tonight with Andrew McLaren, because Bruce is up on the Murray. He's gone fishing.
Lucky him.
Hoping to get one of these.
Speaking of fishing,
he won't catch one of those.
I actually caught that myself in the Amazon at Iquitos. I went swimming with the natives. Now, providing you don't have any cuts or abrasions and the tide is flowing a certain way, it is safe to swim among the piranhas.
Fantastic.
They didn't catch me. I caught them. And look, this one has a mouth. This one has a mouth like Bruce Mansfield. Look at this.
That's very harsh. Yeah. And Tom, you've been out fundraising this morning as well, haven't you?
I have. Look, it's an odd thing to do on Good Friday, but about 150 of us did a workout on the Oval at Church Street in Richmond. And I think people donated different amounts of money, but they raised almost $2,000 for the Royal Children's Hospital appeal. So a good way to get the blood pumping on a Friday morning when most people were still in bed. Philip, now, by the way, how much chocolate do you eat over Easter? I heard that you were an absolute chocoholic. Is that true?
Tom, I give it up for Lent, so I won't be eating any chocolate till tomorrow at the earliest. Why do you ask?
I just heard that when it's left lying around the studio, it disappears quickly.
Too much till I break out in pimples.
Righto.
Yes.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Now, one of them, sadly, it's time to say farewell, but Philip, you've got a story about Prince Philip from the opening at
you
the
love
hospital
it, because you and I were there on that momentous day.
We were. It was huge,
and I was near the aisle, and both Her Majesty and Prince Philip walked straight past me after the official opening. And Prince Philip, with his hands behind his back, he said to me, "Oh, very high ceilings, aren't they?" But before I could answer, he'd walked on. He didn't wait for a reply.
That was very observant of him, though, wasn't it?
Yes, well, from one Philip to another.
Now, I can tell you, Mitch, this Philip here has 1 or 2 years on me, but he used to trip the light fantastic back in the day. So I think we're going to join the 100 salsa dancers after we leave here, and Philip's going to show him how it's done.
Yeah, with my broken hip. Thanks, Tom.
We'll send the 7 News cameras down to see that one as well.
All right, thanks for that.
But thanks for being with us, Tom Elliott and Philip Brady, both on the radio this afternoon and this evening on 3AW.
Thanks, Peter.
Again, we're live from the Melbourne Exhibition and Convention Centre. It's 1:30. It's a fine sunny afternoon, sitting on 13 degrees on Mix 101.1 FM.
You mean Melbourne's Mix 101.1 Double TFM, the best mix of music and the biggest variety from the 70s, 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, that's how it was, wasn't it?
25 years ago, Brady.
mate.
That was a long time ago. That's where we first met. I was doing breakfast and you were Stretch the Weatherman.
Stretch, well, I'm... Yes,
That's because you were tall.
That's right. That's because I was tall Stretch. And remember that promo? This go back a little while there. The great Neil Miller from Channel 10 has set up this promo. He said, Brandy, we've got to make you look tall because you've got to have a nickname. We like the name Stretch. So what we did, we shot this promo down Collins Street in front of the banking sector. I had to find the smallest lady in town and walk beside her so it looked like I was huge. And she'd say, what's the weather doing, Stretch?
Sad thing is, it was Damien Oliver's mother. Well, I can see your story and raise your mind. After a while, I got demoted from Double TFM and became the original love god in this town. Now, that was an experience. Love songs and dedications. Original love god. Unbelievable. But that was a long time ago, Brady. Good to be here after all these years.
Mate, it is terrific, and we're here for a good cause, of course, the Royal Children's Hospital appeal. It's part of the Melbourne landscape, Victorian landscape. It's been like that for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. But look, to keep... Geez, Darren, it's almost that time. It's come to an end, mate. It's been an hour. Haven't we had fun?
Brady, it's been a big thrill. I've known you a long time. To work with a qualified meteorologist and Jane Bunn, also a qualified meteorologist, the best in the business, you two. Not like the other stations, they put a bit of makeup on and try and tell us they know about
You're saying there's something wrong with my makeup?
You're a very attractive man, Brady.
Darren, thank you very much, mate. And of course, for 3AW listeners and viewers at the moment, buy, swap and sell tomorrow morning. Yes, there's always a good deal we have there, isn't there, Darren?
If you've got something to flog, ring me up and give me a call and sell 10%. 10% of the money you make, give it to the Royal Children's Hospital.
What a great idea, what a great idea.
Good to see you, Brownie.
Likewise, Darren. And of course, coming up next, we've got the great...